Hi, and welcome to Scrap of Creativity. I have a project for you today. It's a Matchbox die for Easter. So we're using certainly celery, pretty in pink, and orchid opulence for these colors. So there's our finished project, and I'm going to show you how to make it. I started off with the Matchbox die, which is the big die, and I used this nice paper, the Sending Love paper, and if you haven't seen it, there are some gorgeous papers in there, but this has got this nice sparkly texture to it, and the colors on this one are the pretty in pink and very vanilla. So here's how your box turns out, and your band, and what you need to do is put the box together. So we're going to do that. The best results, or to get the best results, you use, I use a bone folder. You can use a fingernail, something like that, whatever works best for you, but these creases, it's pre-scored, and to get the creases really good and down flat, you really want to use some sort of straight edge to do that. I'm going to go through, do all of these edges first. I like to crease all of them up first and then put it together. Just makes it a little bit easier. Now on the ends here, some people do them different ways. The box does not need any glue to stick together, but when you have it laying flat like this, you folded all your pieces in. These pieces on the edge here, these small ones right here, I fold out, and they make kind of a nice little crease, I guess you could say, to hold the box together. So I like to fold those all the way out. And they're tiny, so this is where having that straight edge comes in really handy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I pull the edges in, the side ones first. And then I come up like this, and these parts, if you can see them, they are scored as well. They're a little bit deeper, so it's an easy fold for you. And I just like to tuck those right underneath, like that, and then push this part all the way down. And you see how that kind of holds the ones that we've scored out, hold those edges in. And then what I do again is I take my bone folder, the corner of it, and get those in there nice and tight. And there you have your box with no glue or anything. So the next piece we have to do is your band, your belly band that goes around it. And these are pre-scored. It's hard to see on mine because I have a newer die. It takes a little bit for the score lines to get in there. And then what I do is I put this sticky strip on this inside small spot here, so that this piece is meant to go right over the top of it. So it just hides that edge, which I personally like. And I'm using sticky strip rather than the mono adhesive because it is so much stronger to hold. And if someone's, you know, you're going to be moving a box in and out of it, it's nice to have that stronger hold. You don't want your project to pop apart. Okay, so here's our box so far. Slides together like that. And what I did for this purple band, I just wanted a little something more on here. So I went ahead and I ran a whole piece of the orchid opulence in through the die, so you can see the score lines on this a lot better. It's easier on cardstock versus pattern paper to see the lines. And then I cut an inch off. So I cut an inch off of these so that I just had that little strip rather than the entire box covering. So I did that. because I wanted a little bit more. And this I'm also going to sticky strip right onto the top, actually, of my DSP, my designer series paper. And last one. I just put a little strip on each of the long spots. Which are the top and the bottom of the box. Like so. Peel those off. And then we're gonna add our lovely embellishments. I just kind of eyeball it to center it. I need one more piece on there. Hello. For the edge. Okay. So if you notice on here, there is a little bit of glitter on here, and that is made right here on the bunny. I kind of wanted to match the paper a little bit, and I made that with the iridescent ice embossing powder, which is very cool. I'm a glitter person. I really like the shiny stuff. So what I did is I took a scrap of Very Vanilla, and I have the clear stamps. So if you have a clear block, you just want to stick your stamp on there. Just hold it for a couple seconds, and then it magically sticks right on there. And I use the Orchid Opulence ink to match the band, and it turns out to be a little bit darker than you originally stamp it. I don't know if you notice, it's just a tad bit darker. It's not quite as bright. And what I do from here is I take a verse mark and I kind of just tap it on there just to get it inked up a little bit, and then I use my powder pal and sprinkle a little bit of this on there. You can just tap off the extra. You want to make sure it covers your stamped image though. And you get something that looks like that. What you do then is take your heat tool, put a little heat on it until it looks kind of wet, and then you can turn the heat off, let it dry, and it turns out looking like that. Now I already made one of these for us so that we have it. So I'm going to set that right there. The next thing I have, if you'll notice on our finished project, is a pink, pretty in pink punch, and I did that in 1 1/4. So I just took a scrap, made my 1 1/4 punch, and then I also used the scallop circle. Again, I just like to use my scraps for punches. I'll have to cut in a whole new piece of paper. All right, now I'm going to layer these up. Still getting used to this camera, so I'm trying to make sure I'm on the screen the whole time. Okay, I layer those with to make a nice little nest. And I'm going to simply use a dimensional in the back. I just use one. Doesn't take much of those to pop them up. And stick it right onto the front of my box. And now you have a finished project. You can fill it. I personally like M&Ms. The springtime M&Ms are pretty cute. Put those in there, and you have a nice little Easter treat for someone. All right, thanks for stopping in.